The half mat technique was a technique I designed or we implemented probably 18, 19 years ago. And the goal was very simple behind it. It took the reactive neuromuscular approach, the RNT approach as it was called, which is basically forcing a muscle or muscles to fire as a result of preventing what you were trying to force. So real simple way, with tubing and with bands, what we would do is we would put a band and we would actually try to pull the joint or the position of the body into a certain angle or to a certain position that we did not want it to be in. In other words, if you think about the knee and going valgus and caving in, we would actually put tubing or a band to pull the knee into valgus, which would force the muscles to then pull against it, the ones that prevent the knee from going into a valgus position. So we did the exact same thing with what we would consider a half mat or a mat position. And it was pretty simple. We were gonna take half of the foot, we were gonna put it on the outside part of the foot, and essentially that would force the mat would force the foot into a overpronated position. So it essentially would force your foot to collapse or go flat. And the goal behind the mat is it was soft enough to force the body into a position, but stable enough that you weren't like off balance, right? So the outside of that foot kind of getting pushed, getting lifted, pushed that arch of that foot flat. And then the goal behind that was, in order now to stabilize, the intrinsic muscles in the feet in this situation would have to work really, really hard to essentially supinate or pull itself out of that position. The foot would have to invert to be able to pull itself back out. And so the muscles that cross in the arch of the foot go two different directions. They go front to back and side to side. And our goal was to elicit or create that response. So what we would do is we would put somebody in that position, and then we would have them perform certain exercises, right? We would have them do something like a single leg RDL or a lunge or a split squat, and we would work out of that position with that mat on the outside of the foot. So great technique, can be implemented with almost any closed chain lower body exercise. Obviously it has to be unilateral or asymmetrical in nature, but it would allow a host of benefits from that, and obviously make the muscles in the feet and the lower leg work that much harder.